everyone, it's Jody with Inspiring Joy. Welcome to my channel, and if you are returning, welcome back. So today I am moving us forward into fall. Well, not really, not literally, but I am seeing inspiration after inspiration in the stores right now for fall, winter, and maybe a little Christmas even at Hobby Lobby. So what I decided to do is I have some inspiration. I have a photo that I'm going to share here on the screen. And this inspiration has inspired me to kind of do a little bit of fall styling with items that I have here at home. And I picked up 2 new items as well to add to my collection for fall. These 2 new items I can use either for fall or throughout the different seasons of the year, based on what I want to use them for or need them for. But I thought I would integrate them into the styling for fall this time as well. So this is going to be an inspiration for all of you. So not to put away the pool swimming suits or get out your boots just yet, but it's just to kind of start whetting the appetite of interest for fall. And so when you're out and about at the stores as well, and you see a couple of new things and you think, gosh, what do I have at home? Maybe now is the time to take inventory of what you have for the fall season. That has helped me as well look through what I have for fall styling and say, you know, if I see yet another artificial pumpkin, do I really need that? Or if I have more garland with leaves that are orange and brown, do I really need that? The answer is probably yes. But looking through what we already have here at home, I don't really need a ton of new items. It's really just how do I use what I currently have in a different way, and bringing contrast, lights and darks and colors and muted tones, and adding to that as the season develops. So I'm super excited to show you some ideas and perhaps give you some inspiration. So without further ado, I'd really like to get started and show you what we have to work with. Okay, so I'm here on the living room floor because this is where a lot of the items are that I'm going to work with. So to start out, I have this really neat little plate, and I'm going to incorporate this in some way. This is that lighter color look that I was kind of talking about in my introduction. And we also have this vase, which I've used in a prior video, but I'm repurposing a lot of these items. Some you have seen, some you haven't seen in prior videos. And that was something that my mom gave to me in a box of vases, and I used it in a different way in another video. So if you've seen that video, you'll recognize it. As well with this, I'm going to incorporate this. These 2 together, to me, looks like fall. Like these 2 together, the colors, the deep richness of the teal and the cranberry, to me say fall. So I'm going to incorporate that with the cream tones. And I also have this very cool vase. I picked up this at a secondhand shop. It's kind of an amber color, and it has these cool little dots around it in the glass. Absolutely beautiful. So, you know, crocks are really big. Also have a crock to incorporate for part of the styling that I'll show you. I'm going to show you 2 different styling ideas, this being a part of the first one. And then I'll show you the crock. So you're kind of going with, in my mind, you know, as you move into a new season, starting with the lighter tones, lighter materials, meaning if you do a heavy crock, then incorporate a lightweight basket or something that's a little lighter so you don't have a bunch of heavy items. So I have bases, the 2 I showed, and then I have this amber base, but it's a see-through. So you get some opacity with that, which gives you some ability to lighten the look of your styling. I also have this basket. It's a lighter color. I have some other darker items. I have a darker basket as well. So I'm going to try to incorporate this light basket. And then this I also recently picked up. I love the colors. I think this in some fashion with these, you know, you're starting to get into these blues and cranberries and darker colors, which to me represent moving into a season that might be cooler, and inside your home you want it to feel warmer. So additionally, I have this that we might be able to use. It's kind of fun to create a little bit of setting or vignette in there. And then we have this vase with the artificial flowers, which are pretty cool, pretty neat. And wait for it. Of course we have to have a pumpkin. Now this I recently picked up at Hobby Lobby. I love the colors. You could keep this out throughout the fall season or start it out. You could even turn it around to just be the white side. So I love the colors. It has a really cool kind of teal truck, which I was looking at these two together and then thinking these two plus the cranberry, these color combinations, plus we have this, which is teal, and this. So I'm kind of going with teals and cranberries and ivories, and then this base as well, the amber. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to get a runner as well for the table that will also bring in some of these colors and protect the table from a lot of the more sharp objects. Like some of these don't have pads on the bottom, so I don't want to scratch the table. So I am going to use a runner. I'll lay out some of these, and I have one more item I'm going to bring into this grouping. And so I'll style it with these to start with, and then I'll kind of show you as we move into the deeper end of the fall season, or the real, we're in it at that point, versus just kind of dipping one toe in. Once we have both feet in, then we can take out some of these lighter color elements and add some heavier, darker, richer colors, which will warm up our home even more so. So that's what I have for the first styling. Let's go ahead and get started. Hi everyone. Okay, so I put out a few items. Let me walk you through my ideas, and then I'll change out a couple more things just to kind of show you a different look for a few other items. Okay, so what I initially did was I set up these two paintings here. So this small one with this big one in between or behind it, and this larger one here that's already on the wall. So if I step back, you can see that we have the large one back here, the middle, and then the small. So that kind of gives some layering effect here on the back. And then I put the runner here on the table to create some padding for the items that I wanted to put on the table and protect the table. So alternatively, I was going to put this vase perhaps right here, so it brings in the gray from the paintings and this painting here. So from all three paintings, this gray vase would work great. Now I can also add these items. This to me represents wheat for the fall and some dried flowers and things to give some shift from all florals to more of a fall winter look. So you could go fall or winter even for this setup here, these three pictures, and then the vase. Now if we move over here, I have the pumpkin with the colors that we really like, which is the blue and the reds, or the cranberries and the white. And I decided to put the platter behind the pumpkin. I thought that was kind of a neat look that way. So, even if you have a platter or a plate or something that you would want to use, don't feel that you have to use it in a traditional sense. You can always lean it up behind something. When you put three things together, that's a nice visual for your eye. Now you can also take this color of this vase and make three with that, and then, or you could swap out this for this color. Just depends on what colors you're using and how you wish to use them. Now if the pumpkin, since we're not fully into fall yet, is too much, too soon, too early, then take away the pumpkin. Take away the platter first. This amber vase here, which I just think is gorgeous. Put the amber vase here next to the painting. You could then add the gray. You could add your cranberries. Bring in colors that way, which I think is gorgeous. So you could put some other kind of greenery or foliage in your vase. You could also put the blue here, so you have the blues together, and the cranberries, and the grays. I think that's gorgeous. With the runner on your table, and then you have all of these beautiful colors pulled out of the pictures behind them. So when you're pulling things from your own home, you can pretty much choose anything. You know, black is a good anchor color for when you're styling. And so I'm going to grab some items from our mantle that we've styled with in the past and bring them over to our table. It's really, you know, up to you what you want to use for styling in your home. But I have the candlesticks here. Let me put these down, and then I'm going to grab one more item for this. Actually, two more items. My books and the beads. All right. So again, we're kind of staying on the lighter color end right now, approaching fall with this inspiration. Okay, so I've added the black candlesticks that we pulled off the fireplace. I have these books. If I stack the candlesticks here, slide that over a little bit. And then I have my beads and run them along here. I could even use this platter and that there. So here's another option. Candlesticks on the end with the beads and the books, and then this vase here, and then the three pictures. And I added this little decorative brass element to the platter, this little plate, just to give it some height. But I really like how that turned out. I think the runner makes such a difference. It warms things up a little bit to this table, and it gives a nice little softness, if you will. Now, so many options, and again, I'm just using what I had. I did pick up the platter and the vase that's the amber tone a while back from a secondhand store. Everything else, though, I'm reusing from what we already have. And I think it's just picking out different colors and tonals and textures from pictures and prints, or the runner, or, you know, vases and things that you have, and just kind of mix and match some of those, adding in the colors that you want to display. Now, let me take us into, from the beginning of fall into more of the heart of fall with some other decorative pieces. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through what we have here in front of us. So what I did was took down the 2 pictures that we previously had. Still have our runner here, and we have the gray vase with the little flowers sticking out. We have our pumpkin, which I think is super cute. I did pick up this pumpkin at Hobby Lobby recently, and it was 50% off at the time, so it was 60, half off. I got it for 30. Super cute. It's a resin, so it'll last you a long time. And then we have our bread bowl in the back, and then we have our tobacco basket behind that, and then the amber vase with just a little bit of green seed foliage hanging out. And then we have one of the pumpkin vases that I got for my mom. And then we have the 2 black candlesticks, some other vases, 2 books, and kind of this heavy, bead garland, if you will. I got this from Tuesday Morning some time back. They were going out of business in our area, and I picked up that. So I also put a stool down here with a little bit of a fringed blanket, which is just a lightweight I got from Home Goods some time ago. I really like the neutral, the browns that it adds to this look as well. Just really easy and comfortable. Now, one thing I wanted to do is change out the pumpkin. Well, actually, let me keep the pumpkin here. I'm going to take down the amber vase and put up this crock with these gorgeous artificial flowers. It feels a little bit heavy on that side with all the other items, so I'm going to slide this down. I'm going to take down the gray. The thing about styling is less is more, which can be hard because we want to display a lot of things at times, but that's that. And then we'll put the pumpkin here. Slide down this one more in the center. I think that looks great. Okay, let me pull back and show you. So what I did was took down the gray vase that was right here on the end. I might slide down this one a little bit more. So the pop of the orange, the greens, the orange and green and the pumpkin carries it down to the greens in this vase here. And I added the lamp back onto the table. So depending on how you want to style, it's good to have height on both ends of your table. It's good to have some structure and some darker pieces behind other pieces and do some layering. Tall items in the back, small, shorter items in the front. Bring some colors together. So I have the oranges, the greens, and the teal as well, just to balance your color. So I think that looks really nice. I think so as we get into the fall season, I will certainly add additional items. We have orange pumpkins, white pumpkins, garlands, etc. I don't have all of that out now, of course, because it's too early in my mind here in Ohio. But if you are an early decorator for seasons, by all means, go for it. I also like the idea of taking a small wreath and maybe putting that on the tobacco basket, or adding some additional flowers or things that might represent the colors of fall. And everybody has a different take on fall. You know, you can add creams and yellows and oranges, or you can do all browns and oranges, just totally up to you. There's so many beautiful colors in the fall season. So to start out with though, I'm going to be pretty minimalistic with fall decorating. And until we get further into the month of August, I'll stay pretty neutral with a little color. And then as we get further into August and September and October, the real fall months, I will add more color in my pillows and just go further into the details of the decorating. So this is probably a part 1 of decorating for fall or preparing for fall and getting some inspiration. And as I see more in the stores, get more inspiration online, I'll probably do another video as we're fully into fall, and then you can actually see more of this decoration. But I wanted to get something started because I was seeing stuff in the stores and kind of getting a little itch to decorate with some items. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy this video. And one other thing I want to mention is my husband recently made some from scratch some banana bread, which also filled the house with a scent of cinnamons and cloves and all those beautiful fall scents that we can have when we're baking. So I was really, really excited for that too. So I think with that, the smell of that, baking the banana bread, and then he also brought home some fresh flowers recently with colors of fall, and being at Hobby Lobby recently and seeing the pumpkins. There are little pieces that are coming into my life that are bringing in some of that joy that fall brings when it comes into full bloom and color. So until we are fully into fall and I circle back with you on additional decorating, I do hope that this initial video brings you joy and inspiration to start your fall decorating, whether it's a little or a lot, whatever works for you, or some baking. And we will see you in the next video. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.